Okay, our objective today is to do word problems in translating algebra to English. So to review, we're going to start with this one. The sum of a number and 8 is 67. So to do this, I'm going to have a number or variable x plus 8, and that is means equal to, so equal to 67. I am not solving anything right now. I am just writing equations. And you'll see that on our first problem. We're just translating the problem into an equation. We're setting it up. We are not solving. So Bob has twice as much money as Jill. So to do this, remember we had that strategies list we went through. For a lot of these, I'm going to either draw a picture or make an organized list. So I'm going to have Bob and I'm going to have Jill. So I know Bob has twice as much money as Jill, and Jill has some money too. Together, they have 360. So if I have 2J plus J, I'm going to get $360. How much do they each have? Again, we're not solving. Bob has 2J, Jill has J. That's how much they each have. We don't need to know what J means at this point. So now I have a piece of rope. This might be helpful to draw a picture. So here is my rope, which is incredibly poorly drawn, but that's okay. And we're going to split it into two pieces. It is important that these two pieces are not equal, because if you read the next sentence, it says that one piece is 4 inches longer than the other. So our longer piece is going to be the shorter piece plus 4. So we'll call our shorter piece x, which means our longer piece is x plus 4. What are the lengths of the rope? Well, we know if we add them together, we get 60 inches. So x plus that x plus 4 should give us 60. We're not solving yet, so we can leave it like this. This would be our answer for right now. Twice as many people like the Yankees over the Red Sox, which should be accurate. There were 300 people questioned how many like each team. So again, I'm going to make my organized list. I'm going to have the Yankees, and then the Red Sox. And we know that some people, some weird people, right, like the Red Sox, we'll call that R. And then we know that the Yankees are more popular. How much more popular? Twice as many. So 2R. And to find how many likes each team, what do those things add up to? 300 people questioned. Better be the total amount of fans. So 2R for the Yankees and R for the Red Sox better add up to equal 300. "45 fewer people liked Coke compared to Dr. Pepper. 234 people were asked how many likes each drink." So here's my can of Coke. It looks just like the real thing. And then my can of Dr. Pepper. Okay? So we know that Coke is 45 people fewer than Dr. Pepper. So we'll let Dr. Pepper be our variable, which would be P. And we'll say Coke is 45 fewer than P. So P minus 45. Again, fewer is one of those subtraction words that can be a little confusing, so you need to pay attention to how it's being written. And if I add those together, p plus, it's important that we have our parentheses, p minus 45 should be 234. Now, is there another way to solve this? Absolutely. What if we let Coke be the variable? C. We know that some people like Coke. How many people compared to Coke like Dr. Pepper? Well, we know that fewer people liked Coke, so Dr. Pepper must be Coke plus those 45 people. And again, we can write it as Coke plus the Dr. Pepper, Coke plus 45, and that's equal to 234. Both of these are acceptable answers because they really mean the same thing. It's just how we define the variable that's different. In the first equation, we're basing everything off the Dr. Pepper people. In the second one, we're basing everything off the Coke people. I'm going to let you try this one on your own. Okay. We have a perimeter of a rectangle. What would be a smart strategy to use here? Drawing a picture is right. So I'm going to have that rectangle. And it's pretty well drawn, but just because I can do better, let's try it this way. Ah, man, that was perfect. Okay, and we know that the perimeter is 36, so if I add up all the sides, they should be 36. So two of the lengths plus 2 of the widths should give me 36. Okay? But we know that the length is twice the width. So this length is the same as 2 of the W's. Okay? So let's go ahead and label our picture, because it's not just drawing a rectangle, it's actually labeling it correctly. So here we have a width, here's a width, and then we know this length is really 2 W's. So if I were to add all those up, I should get that perimeter of 36. Now, what if we use this formula instead? So that would be 2 times, we said our length was 2W, plus 2 of the widths. So this is just using the distributive property and really combining them. Okay, I know that looks way too confusing. And that is also equal to 36. So it just kind of depends if you want to write it all out or use the distributive property. Most of the time, I will use the distributive property in class. Our next one, we have puppies and kitties. And we know that a puppy, we'll draw this out. So cute. I know. You didn't know I was Picasso. That's its collar, by the way. And then the kitty, I don't know why it's so much bigger, but it is. It doesn't wear a collar because, yeah, it doesn't. Okay, so we have puppy and kitty. And we know that the puppy weighs 16 pounds more than a kitty. So we'll let kitty be the variable, K, and we'll let puppy be 16 pounds more. So kitty plus 16. We also know that a puppy weighs 4 times as much as the kitty, so 4K. Find the weight of each. Again, we're not solving for K yet. But how would we even set up an equation for this? I have 2 things that talk about a kitty, or the puppy, and only 1 thing under kitty. And the 16 plus K is not equal to kitty. 4K is not equal to kitty. What can I do? Well, I have two quantities that talk about that puppy. So when I talk about the same thing twice, it is just not wanting to write today. I set those things equal. So I'm going to have k plus 16 set equal to 4k, because both of those puppy things should be true. 14k should be the same as 4k because that's the same as the puppy. Okay? Try this next one about the Mavericks and Spurs by yourself. Keep in mind, when you talk about the same thing twice, you set the quantities equal. Okay, so the directions here have changed a little bit. You're still writing an equation. Then, after you have that equation written, you have choices for the amounts. These choices are called a replacement set. Stop erasing. Okay. So the replacement set. First, to use it, I have to write the equation first. So, Philip has $23 more than Kevin. So I'm going to have Philip and Kevin. So Philip has 23 more than Kevin. So let's call Kevin K, and we'll call Philip K plus 23 because he has more. Then together they have 187. So again, together I'm going to have to sum those two people together. So here's Philip, here's Kevin, and together they have 187. Okay? How much does each have? Well, here's our choices to plug in. So we'll plug in 72 for K first. Does 72 plus 23 plus 72 equal 187? No. So that's not it. Does 78 plus 23 plus 78 equal 187? Nope. So we'll try our last one. 82 plus 23 plus 82 equal to 187. Still no. There was no solution given. That doesn't mean there's no solution. It just wasn't one of the given answer choices. That can happen. It's okay. Try this one in its answer choices on your own. I will tell you that one of them works, and just because you find it doesn't mean you stop trying the others. Okay, this is the last problem I'm going to work with you. The rest of the packet you feel free to do on your own. They're definitely good practice for the quiz. And you can check answers with me at any time. Okay, so I have two numbers. I have one that is smaller and one that is larger. I know that they sum together to be 44 and that the larger number is 8 more than the smaller. So I'll have the smaller be x, and then I know that larger is x plus 8. If I add those together, x plus 8 plus x, well, I wrote that backwards, but that's okay, is supposed to equal 44. If I try my answer choices for the smaller number, I'll try 18. I find out that works. Woohoo! I'm not going to try them because I'm running out of time. You should try all the other ones. That's my smaller number. What's my larger number? Well, I would plug 18 into my larger number. 18 plus 8 gives me